I've built several versions of my balancing robot over the years, and honestly, I'm still chasing the performance I really want. So recently, I started using BLDC motors to improve the performance. And in this video, I want to show the progress of the new balancing robot and present the perfect solution for those who want an easy plug-and-play setup for running BLDC motors. But first, let me briefly show the evolution of my balancing robot. My first version actually worked surprisingly well, but the motors were way too fragile. I broke them so easily that now the robot looks like this. Also, the encoder resolution was too low to achieve stable control. But for these inexpensive components, I obtained decent results. Then I switched to stepper motors, no encoders, open loop, which simplified a lot of things, hardware and firmware development. But in practice, I didn't get enough torque, so I didn't reach enough speed, and the robot kept shaking like this. I didn't like this drawback of the robot. So I turned my attention to BLDC motors, the gold standard in robotics. They're powerful, efficient, and used everywhere. But the problem is that they require special hardware, an electronic speed controller, ESC, to run them. And it's not a simple DC motor, instead a three-phase motor. So it requires special motor control algorithm and special hardware. And I really didn't want to spend the next 6 months developing the motor control just to get them running. I needed something plug and play with solid feedback for proper closed loop control. So after spending quite a lot of time researching various options, I found ODrive Robotics. ODrive develops high-performance BLDC motors and advanced motor drivers to enable seamless motor integration. What used to be a huge engineering burden is nowadays almost effortless. Another great advantage is position, velocity, and a torque feedback that makes the development process much easier. So today, I will show how to build a simple setup using ODrive products and how easy it is to get a motor running. First, let me introduce each component of the setup. I will start from the motor driver, ODrive S1. It's a powerful motor driver capable of delivering 40 amps of continuous current. The operating voltage range is 1248 volts. You can enable velocity, torque, or position control. And for communication, CAN, UART, or PWM input signal can be used. It has really superior characteristics. Next, the motor connections. For that, we use these screw terminal connectors, A, B, and C. We also have 2 additional connectors to power the driver, DC plus and DC minus. This USB is used to configure the motor driver. I will show it a bit later. And this large connector is for the encoder and other auxiliary components. And these connectors are for the CAN interface, and I will demonstrate how to control and get feedback from the motor in the next lesson using the CAN interface. Another thing, you have to get the heatsink. Since we will be operating at high current, the motor driver will heat up. When assembling, do not forget to insert these green thermal pads. The next component is the motor. For my application, I chose this 270 kV motor because it offers a good balance between torque and speed. There's nothing much to say, it's a classical BLDC motor. The next important part is the encoder. For the motor driver, it's essential to know the motor's angular position to drive it. So the encoder provides high-resolution angular position. There is nothing much to say, it's a classical encoder you can find in many different places, same sky. Then I printed this adapter to mount the encoder on the back of the motor. And finally we have this cable to wire the encoder to the motor driver. So how do we actually run the motor? It's relatively simple. First we connect the motor to the motor driver. And if you remember, we use these screw terminals and they are labeled A, B and C. And at this point I ran into a small issue. The motor cables were too thick to fit into the terminals. So I trimmed a bit of the cable to make them fit. And if you know a better or cleaner solution, feel free to share in the comments below. The next step is integrating the encoder. The final step is powering the motor driver. I'm using an external power supply set to 15 volts. And lastly, let's connect the motor driver to the computer using a Type-C cable. Another great advantage of the motor driver is that you don't need to install any software to configure it. Once you plug the device into the computer, you will see its icon. Press it and the GUI will open where we can configure the driver. First we set the voltage and current limits. I will skip the current limits for the sake of simplicity. The next step is to select the motor type we use. Optionally, you can also integrate the thermistor. And then the encoder type. For the control mode, I will select ramped velocity control. Another helpful thing is to set the torque limit. In the next step, we enable interfaces. I will enable the CAN interface, and in the next lesson, I will show how to drive the motor and receive feedback using the CAN interface. But you can also use the UART or PWM input signal to drive the motor. Finally, we apply the parameters and calibrate the motor. And during the calibration, be careful because you need to ensure that nothing blocks the motor's rotation. After calibration, we can enjoy running the motor. I can choose either position, torque, or velocity control, and test everything in the UI. Also, you can monitor parameters in real time.